We're ready to go live for another episode Biohacked Diet Playbook series. Start again. Alright, we're ready to go live. Another Biohacked Diet Playbook series. Okay, let me switch on the camera so you can see me. And as you can see in the title, today we're going to talk about cooking, right? Who loves to cook? I think a lot of us enjoy cooking because it's actually quite therapeutic. You know, you have a long day at work, just get in the kitchen, you whip up something that's delicious, and you enjoy it with your family, right? It's good family connection to cook it together, to prepare food. But how do we do it in a way that makes us strong? Make up like the executive warrior that we all want to be, and we are, right? You are a warrior, and this is where we want to talk about the cooking method, how you prepare your food so that you're healthy and strong. Now, in the last play, I shared with you what you can eat, right? Food is about indulgence. You shouldn't be calorie counting and just eating a tiny portion while you watch everyone eat all the cool food and the full plate. You should be able to eat as much as you want and still thrive, still perform at your highest level. I'm showing you how you do that last play. I'm showing you how you can tweak it to your genetic makeup, your preferences, what you're born with, and how you can tailor the food so that it helps you specifically, because one man's poison could be another person's superfood and vice versa. So we need to make sure not to give you generalized advice that you probably already know, but I want to give you a little bit of nuance so you can make better informed decision for yourself and how you can reach your peak performance that way. If you want extra help and you want to work with me, reach out, right? And then we have a chat. We'll see what I can do to help support your journey into adopting this high performance diet. But today we're going to talk about how you can cook and have fun cooking, and as well as some of the food preparation steps that you want to do to make sure you're eating well. All right, let us begin. Let me switch to the slide. There you go. Peak performance cooking. Cooking. I love cooking. 4 executive warrior diet pillars. Cyclical. It's we talk about indulgence. It needs to be tailored. We covered that last time, and it needs to be a long-term lifestyle. We're going to focus in on the lifestyle element today, as well as the indulgence, because cooking is part of our life, right? It's life. Enjoying a meal with your family where you don't feel that you're deprived. It means that you can eat in a high performance manner, and you don't need to be disciplined. It can be effortless. It's just how you live. What would you discover today? How you prepare your food, how you cook the food in the best possible manner and still full of taste, full of flavor. There's a cooking method I want you to explore and embrace. And we're going to finish up with today's actions for you to take with today to make this real, right? That's what we're here to do. Food preparation. Okay, the reality is your food is poison, right? You go to the supermarket, look at all these beautiful tomatoes and fruit and zucchinis and stuff like that without a single insect mark on it, right? And if you just think about this for a moment. If a lower life form, like an insect, oops, sorry, there you go, blooper. If a lower life form knows they shouldn't eat that thing, and we call ourselves a higher life form, right? We're supposed to be smarter than that. The insect won't touch it. They know it's poison. They're just going to die, right? Think about this. All these blemish-free food, avocado without a mark, all these things, what is the price we're paying for that? What do you think they're spraying the thing with? Right? That's something to think about. Is that the real thing? The reality is today's industrial agriculture, where your food is all coming from, are contaminated with pesticides, with herbicides, heavy metals, pollutions from microplastics and fungicide. You might think the government's got you covered. Don't they test them all, right? Don't they need a proof and therefore you shouldn't be concerned? Well, did you know that most of these vegetarian, they don't just spray one thing. They don't just go with a Roundup and that's it, right? Glyphosate, boom, done. They spray it with 3 or 4 or potentially sometimes up to 7 different chemicals, especially fruits like pears and apples are so heavily sprayed. There's usually at least 4 different type of chemicals that spray up on them before they deliver to the shelf. Has that been tested? So you test individually, separately, right? There is no testing in intermixing all these chemicals and what does that do for your body. There's no requirement for any form of safety testing, long-term or short-term. Generally, it's uncovered when there's an accident happens, right? But there's no requirement to test combination of chemicals and what that means on longer term, right? So just keep that in mind. Now, your goal is as an executive warrior is peak performance. What that means is if you can limit these are not good for you. You can argue it's not whether it's going to kill you in the short term, but I'm sure there will be no argument that this is not good for you. It's not good for your performance. How do you minimize these, right? You can minimize these by buying organic, right? You can also avoid the dirty dozen and save on clean 15. So the Environment Working Group published a list of like the most polluted, most sprayed vegetables and fruit, and they call it the dirty dozen. And this is based on their regular testing. So your strawberries, your spinach, kale, colored mustard green, peaches, pear, nectarine, apples, grapes. So all those 12 things are some of the most sprayed food on the shelf. So for those, if you want and you have to eat these things, make sure you buy organic, right? Now, the clean 15 are some of the least sprayed food. So what that means is if you can't buy organic everything, you can save money buying traditionally produced clean 15. So buying organic avocado doesn't make that much of a difference. It's just that avocados are just not as sprayed as some of the other dirty dozen things, right? So you can save money like kiwi, mangoes. So don't waste your money on buying organic avocados or organic pineapple. You can save these things are less sprayed, right? That's a good way to minimize synthetic farming chemicals. You can also, if you've got these already in your pantry, you can physically remove these chemicals by peeling, right? That's one. Or you can soak it, 10% saline solution for 20 minutes. After that, rub under running water, and that will remove a significant amount of these chemicals. Another way is 10% bicarb soda, 15 minutes, rub again. Once you soak it, you rinse it and rub under running water, and that will remove a significant amount of these synthetic farming chemicals, right? It's some work, right? It does take some effort. And this is where I call you, I want you to remember why you're doing this. Your performance, your dream are too big to let this small inconvenience undermine it, right? That's the way you think about it, right? It's a bit, when you're soaking it, it doesn't take that much effort, but it does take a little bit of getting started to think about these things, but it's just not that, it's worth it, okay? So that's one way for you to prepare your food to make sure that you reduce the amount of chemicals that you're adding to your body. And even as this moment, I can read your mind. I say I can't read your mind all the time, but sometimes I can. You're probably thinking, well, aren't we already live in a polluted environment? Chemicals everywhere. There's fire retardant in my bedding, in my carpet. There's dust. There's pesticides on the streets. Like, what's the point, right? I can't avoid it. Well, good question. The answer is You know it's not good for you. Are you sure you want to add to it? Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not enough. We're just going to push you over the edge, right? And for some people, that is the case, especially if you have a certain mutation, genetic mutation with methylation, right? MTHFR is one of the genetic mutation that means that you're not good at methylation detoxing pathway, and therefore your body is not really good at processing these chemicals. And when you take them out, or you significantly reduce these chemical consumption or input into your body, it'll make a huge difference. So that's the mentality I want you to take, right? It's not good for you. Having more is not good for you, right? So yes, you do want to take it out, and it does make a difference, right? Even though your environment are full of it, but you don't want to, certainly you do not want to add to that load and make your body work so hard on detoxing rather than helping you getting the work done. All right? Okay, so cooking method. Cooking. So we talk about food preparation. You want to avoid this cooking method, right? The worst cooking method is boiled, barbecued. In Australia, we don't call broiling, we call it grilled. Just for the Aussies out there, if you're looking this, grilled or broiled or barbecued. Deep fried, microwave, charred, black and burnt. These are very inflammatory. With this type of high heat, smoking charcoal, part of the attraction is the Maillard effect, right? It produces the protein, it burns the protein, denature it, and give you this really kind of nice taste. Very, very addictive sometimes. But what you need to know is when you process protein this way, you're creating a lot of what's called advanced glycation end product, right? So the scientists call this age. Literally ages you, right? It makes you weaker. It makes you age faster. You're more likely to get cancer. So it's basically barbecuing it from the inside out. And there's some theories of aging, why we age, why we get old, why we develop all these age-related illnesses as we get older. It's really this build-up of age byproduct in our system. We just basically cooked ourselves from inside out from all this food. So that is something that you want to consider. And other than that, other than age, if it's not bad enough already, there are carcinogens like heterocyclic aromatic amines, HCAs, or polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons, PAH. So these things are known carcinogens, right? High performance, this is not high performance food, right? High performance people should not be thinking about that. Now, you might be thinking, remember, I'm going to attempt to read your mind a little bit. I'll try. You might be thinking, well, barbecuing has been with us for thousands of years. I mean, don't we grow up with fire and barbecue meat? Why is there a problem now? Well, think about this. The life expectancy of the ancient world is 35 years old. So most people don't live old enough to get cancer, right? They usually die from other means. So that's not a problem for them because they don't really get to get old. So it's not a problem for them, right? Ask yourself. This is something you need to consider because a lot of people have attachment to these things. Like there's something almost like visceral, this emotional attachment to barbecue, fried food. And I do know what that feels like because I do love these type of food a while back. But I ask myself, is my goal important enough to give it up? Right? And for me, yes. And you think, well, am I doomed? I'm always going to have this craving? No. This craving is temporary. And now if I look at it, like I used to go to KFC on a regular basis. I love their, especially hot and spicy chicken. Yeah. I love fried ribs. I love fried pork ribs. Like the Taiwanese kind of traditional bento box. I love that. There's salt and pepper chicken, a little like a popcorn chicken. I love that. I always love that. I haven't had one, not a single one, for more than now coming up to 12 years. And I tell you, I do not even miss it. I see my friends eating it, people eating it. I just look at it. It's not even food, right? And that's the transformation you can go through. These food are not high performance. They're going to undermine your ability to achieve. And when you make that decision that you want to take it out, your craving will stop. It makes me wonder, how much is the food controlling my brain versus I'm controlling what I eat? Is it really my stomach or the food telling me what I should be eating? Or am I really making a conscious choice? Now that I've taken it out, I really don't have any desire, right? So this help people look at it. Oh, I don't have the willpower to do what you do, Steve. It doesn't require any power, any mental power whatsoever. I looked at that. I just like looking at a piece of rock. It's okay. You're eating a piece of rock. Yeah, good. Enjoy. Right? I'm not judging. People feel, like I'm secretly judging. They're bad or weak for eating this food. But I'm not. Go ahead. You like it? Go ahead. For me, I don't think that's food. Right? So it doesn't require willpower, and that is a transformation process, and you can get there. You care about your performance. You can take this out. For a while, you have cravings for these fried things, this barbecue meat, but it will shift. You will get to a state where you just look at it and you will become indifferent to whether you eat this or not. Okay? If you need help, you want to work with me to help you get there, let me know. Reach out, and I'll have a chat. Let's have a chat and see what I can do for you. But this is my because I've went through this journey, and I've seen a lot of my clients go through a similar journey. I know it's possible. You can do this. You don't have to eat a barbecue every single weekend. You do not need this broiled crispy meat. It's almost like sounds like really delicious if I talk about it, but right, just know that these things are not good for you. Don't pretend they're good for you. They're full of protein, but they're also full of junk. Okay, so keep that in mind. All right, that's all I have to say about the cravings and this food. But you really don't want to do this. But what can you do instead? And this is what I want you to focus on. Focus on what you can eat, and these foods are delicious. Once you develop a taste for this, you realize your palate literally shifts, and you crave healthy food instead of food that undermine you. So you can steam. There's a lot of delicious steam, fish, vegetable recipes. You can poach them, poached eggs. Oh my goodness, delicious, right? Have poached egg with some, what do you call the sauces? Eggs Benedict, right? Benedict sauce, full of nutrient, tastes so amazing. You can simmer, right? You can bake. You can slow cook meat. Oh my goodness, like lamb shank, slow cooked, absolutely delicious. You can bake it. You can bake it in the oven, so you can still bake it. Just don't burn the thing, right? Don't broil the thing. Grilled Aussies, okay? So slow cooked, these are all great ways of cooking, and there's a ton of variety. Focus on what you can do, and that is how you transform. Rather than focus on what you can't do, which requires so much mental power, focus on what you want to do and what you can do. You can also do a stir fry, right? Hybrid stir fry, steamed stir fry, and this is where you use just a bit of healthy oil, right? You put whatever you want to stir fry, veggie, meat, but then add a dash of water and cover it, right? So you get the best of both worlds. You get this stir fry taste without the stir fry damage, right? Because it's very, very quick, and it's great if you're super busy. You just whip up a quick meal, very, very fast as well. That's a advantage of this particular method. It's especially good for vegetable. Just like, put some flavors, right? Remember, garlic, a bit of chili, let it in kind of cook in that oil for a little bit. Put in your veggies, put in your water, stir fry, cover with a bit of salt. My goodness, like broccoli tastes amazing when it's cooked this way. Put a bunch of butter in there, grass-fed butter if you can, and flavor all the way. Add your spice oil, your homemade pesto, mayonnaise. It's incredibly easy to make. Don't buy the store-bought stuff. Once you try it homemade, you'll never go back. Toum, it's a Lebanese garlic sauce. Oh man, tasty, tasty. Flavored butter, right? You can see where I'm going with, right? All these things there's a lot of creativity. There's a lot of fun. There's a lot of enjoyment out of eating food that's cooked the right way. Focus on that. You can bake a delicious cake. You can bake even cookies that's good for you, right? So you are not missing out. Don't deprive, right? Enjoy, indulge, eat as much as you want. You don't need to think about calorie counting. Just eat until you're full. Now, if you want to save a bit of time, you can batch cook your protein, right? Now, grass-fed steak, I don't know. I find that they cook so fast, like 2 minutes aside. Really, 4 minutes, not much time. So I wouldn't do it to steak, but if you want, save a bit of time, you can do that. Healthy steam, stir-fried vegetable is a great way to prepare. Eggs, avocado, make it your friend, add that to everything. Makes everything taste good. Guacamole, really, really healthy. All kinds of avocado recipe. Sometimes when I'm really hungry and I just end up have a lot of time, get an avocado, slice it in half, bit of pepper, bit of salt, bit of chili powder, and delicious, right? If you want, get a cooked egg, add it on top, right? Just pan fry very, very quick. Just get some eggs, just cook it up, scramble it up on top. Again, delicious, right? You can get some pastured bacon. Pastured bacon is a pretty good, a very delicious way to add protein in a fairly healthy way. Okay, so those are the things I suggest. But looking forward to hearing what you want to do. Like, there's a ton of recipes you can try. The possibilities are endless, right? You can be completely creative. And these are some of the recipes that I, with zucchini noodles, with broccoli, with cauliflower and beef, they're very delicious and you feel great eating them. The possibility are endless. These are examples of food that you can prepare. So this is what I mean. You can eat in a way that makes you perform at your best, and you can still have all this wonderful food and recipes. All right, where do you get the recipes and ideas? Here's a bunch of links. Go and check it out. There's a recipe from my mentor David Asprey who shows you how to make a delicious fat coffee the proper way. I think I've gone better than what he did, but you can check out the original. This recipe by Dr. Amy Myers, who's really very much focused on the healing your gut, which we'll talk about in the next play. Actually, we'll talk about the role of gut in your performance, and she has a bunch of really good recipes that's very healing for your gut to support your performance. Dave Asprey has a recipe as well as a cookbook. Check it out. Low carb recipe ideas I've already shared. There's a lot of desserts. Bulletproof.com also have recipes. Recipe by Dr. McCullough. There's a really good Dr. Berg made a very good cauliflower pizza crust recipe. Try it. It's delicious. Like, my kids prefer my pizza than what we can buy from Domino's, right? That says something about the quality of some of these recipes. You can make a keto potato chip with dehydrated jicama. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right, but you know what I mean. There's a ton, like whether it's pizza, dessert, even chips. You're definitely not missing out. So here's a bunch of sources or recipes and protocols you can follow. They're all really good resources. You can take a screenshot of this and go and look it up. But this play is really about encouraging you to explore. There's so much fun to be had in high performance eating. You don't need to deprive yourself. This is about living life to the full. And that's why I call the Executive Warrior Diet a lifestyle. It's not something you go on and go off. You do this and you will continue. I've kept my weight off for over 5 years. And I tell you, it's effortless. I work out once a week, right? I don't have a lot of time to work out. When I do work out, I do once. And then I might do a bit of fun things. I wouldn't consider exercise because I don't sweat. But that's what it means. When you eat right, you eat well, you can just become part of your life. All right, your action. Share in the community what you want to cook up, right? Share some photos and recipes that you enjoy, that you try. Make it, contribute. Like, this is what the community is for. When you share your recipe ideas, it gets really fun and interesting. And ask any question in the community. All right. Hope you enjoy this food preparation module. There's a couple of recipes that you can try. A bunch of cooking methods you can try. I look forward to hearing from you what you think. Right? So let me know. I look forward to seeing you in the next module. All right. God bless. Take care. Bye.